Hey, how you doing? I'm Mr. Boss. So this is the first book that we are going to introduce. Now, this is a non-math book, but this first book is called Eitel Time, and it's by Charlie Intel. It's a very thin book. It's not very long at all. Let's see how many pages is it. It doesn't even actually even say how many pages is it, but it has 12 sections to it. This section is not that big. But anyway, let's talk about this book to kind of, what I kind of am throwing out at you is what I got grasped from it. And it's a kind of a fast read, but it takes a little bit of time and time. And so this is kind of what I gathered from it. He talks about there's 12 ways to be successful in life. 12 ways. So 12 ways. So I guess you can think of like a hands on a clock. So number one, making a difference. So this is very important about being successful in life. And emotions do motivate us to correct people. And your emotions tell a lot about you and about how you display through life. And I think that's what making a difference, being successful is what he's talking about, is that there's a difference between managers and leaders. A leader has a vision. A manager is kind of that place that kind of makes sure the system is working. And that's kind of the difference between a manager and a leader. So a leader has that vision. They're being a role model or a mentor. A manager is kind of like, hey, what is this facility working? Is the stuff going? Is the employees doing their job? And he talks about communication. And communication is a problem still with a lot of us. And poor communication is still the biggest problem today in the workplace and at home. And I think that's a really big importance. And he talks about we can be our own worst enemy and to our friends. So we can self-destruct ourselves. We can talk about, that I'm just not this, I'm not that. And you can just kind of shut yourself down. You can self-destruct, be your worst enemy. So the next one, the book says that this number two says, doing what's right. And he says there's three questions to human relationships. One, can I trust you? That's a big one. When you meet somebody, can you trust them? Two, are you committed? So I think what he's trying to talk about to be successful is that people like to see if you tell the truth. People want to see if you're committed to what you're doing. And the third, they talk about, do you care about me? And I think that what he's trying to say to be successful is that do you care about what you're doing enough to make a dent? And all three of these is really the balance on trust. Trust has to be the top of the barrel. Very important, I think, in anything that you do. The third time, is trusting intuitions. Assume that you do not have it already. Common sense is not common. Well, common sense is education. But I think he talks about, trust your intentions. Do you trust yourself to make sure that you make the right amount of corrections that you're going through life? Do you trust yourself to make sure that you are following through, that you're doing a good job? Are you creating the environment to where people want to feel safe and better themselves? I think that's very important. The fourth that he talks about is the fourth aspect to being successful, I do believe, is playing to win. He has this acronym. It's called TASTE Life. And it says trust, accountability, support, truth, and energy. And it's about playing to win as far as you can with all you have. And some people might think that it's criticism, always have to win. Well, you want to win. You mean as long as if you have all the requirements, you can win. And not to be cynical, but I think that you don't want to play to lose. You don't want to get a job and say, well, in the first week I'm going to lose because I'm not going to be this person. Well, no, you want to make sure that you play to win. You want to make sure you succeed. You kind of want to feel that sometimes things are not going to go as planned. And pain is a good thing, by the way. There is some pain that gets you motivated to wake up and says, hey, you know what? I can do this. I can be more accountable. I can be more supportive. And I can have the energy to do that. Number 5, he says, walking your talk. So part of this is like, if you're saying something, make sure you walk it. So he says, vision is what a leader is all about. Put yourself outside your comfort zone and do the talking with the walking. You're empowering yourself. You're saying something, but you're going to do it, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm going to create this big old aspect in life, or make this in debt. Make sure I'm a good father. So I'm holding myself to accountable, and I'm going to say that if I'm going to become a father or a good father, I need to do it. And I think that's just one. Number 6 says building your team. Now, creating a cultural focus on a mission. No one can stop them from being successful. So if you believe in yourselves, you can believe in a team. Now, mostly this book talks about kind of like the business aspect of kind of what he's talking about, is the businessman. But I think if in life, if you know yourself, you must know others, right? If you know yourself, you know others. And that's a big aspect. And a team is like maybe not just it's the people that you work with, but it's also what you do outside. Your team can be your best friends. Your team can be your, I guess your spouse. That's okay, but because you guys are a team. I think that having that team helps you succeed, and it's all built on trust and accountability and showing character. And I think that's what he's talking about to a certain extent. Number 7 of being successful, helping others. You have to care about people. You say it and express it at all. So that's really showing empathy. We learn empathy when you're about 4 or 5 years old. And according to a child psychologist, that we have this window of learning to help people. It's called empathy, right? You want to feel what people are feeling, what people are going through. And I think if you don't have that window of opportunity, if you don't learn that critical point in life, that you're going to lose that empathy. You don't have that development. And that comes from your frontal lobe developing. And it's really important to help others because they can succeed and pass down the torch. 8, taking care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be your best. And that's very important. And taking care of yourself is maybe the weight. Yeah, it's fine, but it's also the brain. If you think a certain way, you're going to act a certain way. And you kind of have to take care of yourself, your diet. Sometimes substance abuse is very critical because people have a terrible drinking problem, and that leads to cause and effect. If I drink, I'm gonna be I'm angry when I'm drunk. No, not me personally, but I don't drink. Stress control. People get very stressed out and they lash out irrationally, and sometimes that doesn't always go good because you regret it later. And he says in his thing about this, I think that most people overreact because they are starved for affection and support. Very good thing. I like that. And I forgot what page this is on this book here. Number 9, being successful, have some fun. Means something different for everybody. Fun is different. I have fun reading because it enlightens me. It makes me excited. Makes me have some energy. But some people may go outside and exercise. Great. Release those endorphins. Some people go to the park. Some people walk a dog. Some people go for a ride. Some people go on vacation. What's the defined fun? And I think that's really hard when he says that, it's really hard to define fun for everybody. Number 10 of being successful, being accountable. Live up to your mistakes. Take action. Sometimes say sorry. Sometimes that's a big thing. A lot of people don't like to say I'm sorry because they think that, if I say sorry, then I'm being weak. I don't think you're being weak. But live up to your mistakes. We all make mistakes. I think that you don't want to have that mindset of you can't be wrong. You can be wrong. That's okay to be wrong. Number 11, reflecting time. Stop yourself and ask, how did I get here? That's very important. You know, and through life is that if you're thinking about maybe you're going through a midlife crisis or something like that, and you say, you know, how did I get here? You know, why am I going through this? And I think that you have to kind of understand where you've been so you can understand where you're going. And reflecting on the time that you're spending, you know, time is going to keep going regardless. Time does not stop. Sorry, we're all getting older right now. And sometimes you have to stop yourself and ask, you know, what's going on? Well, why am I thinking this way? Why am I not doing this? What's going on here? Number 12 is you have to have peace of mind. So he says that, you know, you have to kind of relax a little bit. You kind of have to just be mellow. And sometimes just set yourself down and grasp the environment around you. And to be successful, there's a lot. And success means a lot of things for different people. And I can't define success. It's really hard to define success. And that's kind of the end of this Eitel Time. It's very good. And about the author, you know, this book was written, let's see, it's written in 1995. So it's an outdated book, but it sometimes tells its stuff. And I think that's really good. But you know, you kind of have to have your heart, mind, and body working together. And so hopefully you enjoyed this. I mean, it was a fast read for me, but I spend my time going through things and, you know, underlining things and quoting things. And I show you what I'm doing. You know, I kind of underline some stuff like this, you know, very important things. I don't use a highlighter because I think that if you use a highlighter, you highlight too much. But yeah, that was kind of like the idea of this book. But anyway, I got this book at the library. It was, I paid like $1 for it. It was just something I wanted to pick up and read. Okay, so hopefully that you enjoyed this. You can probably find this book somewhere. I'm not going to advertise that, but I'm hoping that we can continue this. So that was the first book. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you.